Hello, my name is Isabella Perez, Recreation Leader for the City of Socorro. Thank you for joining today's meeting. Before the meeting begins, we would like to remind our guests to remove all hats and silence all electronic devices. No destructive behavior or outbursts will be tolerated, and violators are subject to ejection and possible prosecution.
Hola, mi nombre es Judy Rodríguez, secretaria de Planificación de la Ciudad de Socorro. Gracias por participar en la reunión de hoy. Antes de que comience la reunión, nos gustaría recordarles a nuestros invitados favor de quitarse los sombreros y silenciar todos los dispositivos electrónicos. No se tolerará ningún comportamiento perturbador ni exabrupto y los infractores estarán sujetos a expulsión y posible procesamiento.
Good evening. Today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. Time is 6:01. The regular scheduled meeting for the Historical Landmark Commission for the City of Socorro, Texas is called to order.
Line item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Line item number 3, Establishment of Quorum. We have Mr. Rafael Padilla,
Present.
Dr. Elizabeth Ponce-Lugo,
Present.
Mr. David Estrada,
Present.
and Mr. Jesse Montelongo. We have Mr. Al Borrego and Mr. Ricardo Rocha absent, but they did let us know that they will not be in attendance. Line item number 4, we have no one signed up for public comment. Line item number 5, excuse of absent commission members.
Move to approve Mr. Rocha and Mr. Borrego.
Okay, we have a motion made by Mr. Rafael Padilla, seconded by Mr. Jesse Montelongo. Rafael Padilla,
Aye.
Dr. Elizabeth Ponce-Lugo,
Aye.
David Estrada,
Aye.
and Jesse Montelongo. Motion passes. Line item number 6, discussion and action on approving special meeting minutes for the meeting held on February 18th, 2026 of the Historical Landmark Commission.
I'm sorry. I got blanked.
Number 6. For you to approve a special meeting minutes for the meeting.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve.
I second.
Okay. We have a motion made by Mr. David Estrada, seconded by Mr. Jesse Montelongo, Mr. Rafael Padilla,
Aye.
Dr. Elizabeth Ponce-Lugo,
Aye.
Mr. David Estrada,
Aye.
and Mr. Jesse Montelongo. Motion carries. Line item number 7, discussion and action on the certificate of appropriateness for the alteration of an existing residential structure on the property located at 10199 Socorro Road.
Good evening, Commissioners. Before you is an application for a certificate of appropriateness on the Mission Trail to go ahead and completely do construction on a residential property. The address, as mentioned, is 10199 Socorro Road. The applicant is Mr. Lozano, who is present. Method of installation will be alteration. Staff recommends conditional approval. There is just a concern regarding the design that would need modification, but conditional approval with our recommendations. So this is the street view of the property. This is 10199 Socorro Road, right by the brewery and Buford. So Socorro and Buford is the crossroad. And this is the other side of the property. It's right at the fork. All the paint colors that he has proposed are on our current guidelines, so they are approved and appropriate. Our concern is just regarding the square infill building in the middle and then the crowning on the right, just because they are not part of the historic guidelines. However, the first one does fall under the Mission style. The roofing and the Spanish tiles are fine. And then you can see the back view or the west side view. You see the square lines, which are a little bit too modern for the district. So those are just our immediate concerns that we have as staff. We would recommend that they change the designs to fit more of the Spanish Mission, Pueblo, or Hacienda style, as opposed to the one that has straight lines similar to that of the county courthouse or a Western era looking building.
Victor, you're talking about the one on the side, on the right side?
So the left and the right on this view.
Oh. Thank you.
And the one before that would be the one on the left side, and then the second story building, which is representative of letter A. And this one also in the middle and on the right. Again, as mentioned in terms of colors, those are approved. There's not a concern with the color. There is just a concern regarding the aesthetics and the design. Just it being too modern with the straight lines or the rounding, it doesn't go with the Hacienda Mission, Viga, or Via aesthetic, which is currently there in the design guidelines. This is the back view. And we're happy to answer any questions that the commissioners might have.
I got a question for the gentleman.
Mr. Lopez?
I happen to, well, you know, we're right across from him, so that's why
The applicant legal status.
our property is right across from his. So we got to see, I introduced myself, and I wanted to, you know, be neighborly and tell him, if you ever need something, come over here. There's the ranch back there with Sergeant Carrera, what do they call that ranch for the handicapped kids and soldiers? It's right behind us. Serenity Ranch, yeah. So anyways, I introduced him to the veterans there, and I did go, and he showed me what he was doing. He said, I didn't know what he was doing, but I said, thank God somebody finally bought that property. Thank God, because you know we need to beautify it again. And the back, I saw what he did in the back. It looks beautiful in the back, and you can't tell. In the front, it looks beautiful because you see the Socorro, but you're concerned about the sides there, where the flag was.
So the concern is anything that would not be congruent to your design guidelines.
To the nation style type of thing.
Can I make a comment?
Yes. Please, Doctor.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to present my project. Of course, this property, I'm Alejandro Lozano. I'm an artist and designer, and I have always had interest in the Sanelli, Socorro area. I'm from El Paso. I just moved about 3 years ago here. I bought a house, and I remodeled it in the mission style, more or less. I love it. But, you know, yes, you know, this might look a little bit different from the mission, but I think that the Western Indian style is a pyramid as well, or the Pueblo style is also more or less like a mission. I can convert the tall one into the Pueblo style, the round corners. But I think that, you know, that having all the properties, if the city of Socorro and Sanelli, we get together and made them all like a mission style, it become at a point boring, because all of them will be like a little mission. Instead of having a little bit of Western, a little bit of Hispanic, Spaniard, a little bit of Indian, a little bit of Pueblo, mixed. I think that would suffice, you know, our mission as making it like a old-fashioned type of a Pueblo. And I would love to see every property in Socorro Road in this style. Not necessarily all of them as a mission, but as well as a little bit of Western, a little bit of Indian, a little bit of a mixture. And I would think that tourism would really grow if something like this happens here in Socorro. We need the Socorro Trail to be a tourist trail, not just a mission trail, a tourist trail. And it's becoming, but we have to allow the citizens and our property owners to get out of the box and say, let's tweak it a little bit. Why not? I mean, I can do different styles. I can all do them Pueblo styles. In fact, one of my original designs that I'm gonna show you here that I didn't present. It's a little bit different, but it's the same property. and it's a Indian style type, as you can see. The one that he was referring, the one in the center, that one, I don't see nothing wrong with the one in the left, in my left, my right. I mean, I was thinking of maybe putting the logo, Socorro logo, on that little circle. And then the one in the center, I could do it like this, the round corners. You know, same thing, except instead of being flat, we'll make it round. That's probably be all right, right?
So the reason that we stick to the guidelines, that's already approved. So in terms of changing the guidelines, that would not be approved.
Approve of the guidance.
The guidelines are already set forth.
I know, but there's always room for, not for this property, but for the future, maybe change it a little bit. Say, hey, let's go a little bit beyond, get out of the box, and do a little bit of different styles in the same atmosphere type. The Indian style, the Spanish style, the Western style, a little bit of Western, a little bit of Hispanic, a little bit of Indian, a little bit of Pueblo. The Indians were pyramids, and that's like a pyramid, and that was Indians. But I don't mind, because like I said, my original idea was just do it wrong, the center one, which I don't mind doing it. But also, the one on my right, what's wrong with that? Which one is?
So the one in the middle and the one on the right are not approved designs in the current design guideline standards.
That's what I'm asking you. So, were you?
So the modern straight lines on the roof as well as the windows are not approved. And
Windows, I'm
in the
not
middle
moving.
one.
Let me tell you, the windows I'm not moving, I'm not changing. They're the windows that exist.
On the top floor though?
On the top?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Those are just.
Those are square windows, so those are not part of the,
So we just make them, squares.
so they're more rounded edges like on the first one. And we can go ahead and work with you to redesign it. And then on the right one, it is more Western American designed, which is not approved in the guidelines right now.
So what would you suggest? Well, we can work on that. All right. I don't have a problem.
Okay, so,
Let's see the back.
And
This is the front.
this is all gonna be at the same property, you're just adding on to 3 different sections,
Yeah,
correct?
I'm not expanding the property, it's just the same wall. It's just a facade. The building stays, it's all adobe, it's 18-inch adobe. In fact, if we remove the sheetrock from one of the rooms, they still have the round posts, which we're gonna expose, and not put sheetrock. And have the post exposed, the way the original, I don't know how old this house is, but it's probably, back in the 1800s. But I'm not gonna touch it, the windows, everything's the same, the walls. The only thing that we're replacing is the back part, which was all wood, it was all corroded, which is replaced that cover it, to protect it. But other than that, it's all facade, and not the integrity, we're not gonna move any of the building in it, or add to the building, same type. But think, consider something like that in the future. See if we can expand on the guidelines and make it a little bit more open to the same culture, because we're diverse culture. We're not all Pueblo, we're not all Indian, we're not all Cabos, we're all a mixture. We're Hispanics as well as Indians. So why not combine the traditional Hispanic type of structure versus the Pueblo and Indian style?
Do you have a question, Mr. Estrada?
well, I want to make sure everybody has comments, but as far as, is there any additional presentation to this one? Is there anything else?
No, so it's just the concern regarding the design on the modular buildings or the modernization of the buildings.
Okay, so I guess my question would be for clarification as far as regarding the guidelines. So we have guidelines on color, right? On color selection and then style. And the existing guideline is to have the mission style type
So
facades.
it's Pueblo, Villa, Adobe, Spanish architecture style. Western American is not approved in your design guidelines because it does not take place in your history of the district.
Of the district. And so Western American, Southwest, cowboyish.
That's not approved in your district.
It's not approved in the guidelines, okay. And again, for clarification, they're guidelines, and does this panel have a variance? Are we able to do a variance in there?
No,
Or
so
is
what
it
will
shot?
happen,
Is it an automatic?
so the way your guidelines are structured are based on your survey, your historical survey. So that takes into account the buildings that you have, the residential, commercial, and the history of the site when it first started. So you cannot add something that didn't exist during that time period. So your mission trail is a part of this Spanish adobe vigas type of architecture and style.
Okay. And these okay, so these existing guidelines, what we currently have, they've been in place for how long?
Since 1995. That was the last time we updated it.
So 1995, and those went through the process, ratified by council and so on.
Ratified by this commission, planning and zoning and council.
Okay, and so we don't have the, if we would want to change those guidelines, we wouldn't go back, take it through the entire process and say we want to adjust colors, we want to add different styles. Okay, and so this one is being presented, why then, if it didn't meet the initial guideline?
We wanted to present the applicant's application and then also have a discussion to inform both the commission and the applicant on why we're requesting a modification.
Okay, which I'll say that we appreciate that, and it should be an open discussion. I'll give you my personal viewpoint. I agree with everything that the applicant is saying. I think this is a great style. The Southwestern, American Western, everything is a great style. I think there's room for it in Socorro, within El Paso and the Southwest region of the United States, for example. I like the multiple different, they're side by side, but they're just a little bit different style, all going with what you're saying. It's all a mixture of culture here in our area. But we have the guidelines that we need to adhere to, right? Okay. So I'll say that what we're being presented here is probably one of the most creative that we've seen since, the last several years. So if this is your artistry and your thought process, I think this is great. But going on the guidelines, I think we need to just
So there's
stick to
parts of its
that
design
for
that do
now.
work, there's parts of it that don't. And it's more the modernization of straight lines, because that wasn't existent in that time period. And the design guidelines are meant for each building to mimic one another. That is the point of your district.
That's okay. Okay. I'll make a reference to San Elizario, all the malls that are over there. They, for example, they've got the Southwest style, but then they have the wood beams, the vertical ones on the porch, and so it kind of, the old round vigas. And so keeping those in place, that would be
That is
part of
approved.
the guideline, but just the facade, like that middle one right here, that's just a different style with the lintels and whatever architectural, whatever that's called. It adds just a little bit different dimension in there, just a different style. But there's certain aspects of each one that can be kept. It's mostly, I would think, mostly the parapets. If that's changed and tweaked a little bit to just to keep it within the guidelines, I think the overall idea of what we're trying to achieve, I think it can still be achieved without changing it drastically. It's just if we were to see changes in the parapets at the minimal, I think that's what you're referencing.
So we would work on the straight lines in the middle section, and then on the right side, Western American is not an approved design guideline.
But
You can have the Spanish tile roofing, that's no problem.
also the post with the
Yes,
bar.
yeah.
Just the top is the one that, yeah.
Just the parapet, just the top facade, the parapet walls up on top.
And we can work with the applicant to make sure it complies.
Okay.
Just a question. All this is what's visible from the street, right?
So this is gonna be visible from Socorro Road.
So if, let's say.
I can show you the other views. So this one will be the other side of Socorro Road, which will be the west side view. And I think there's one more.
It's next to Diamond Shamrock.
Yes. That used to be
And
the
then
Richie
this is the
property.
Buford view.
Yeah.
This is from
Ricardo
Shamrock.
Ortiz.
If you're at Shamrock, you see this.
Mhm.
In the front, you see the front, and then coming from the casino, coming from the True Brewers, you'll see the other side. So, and then also you have four views from this one. If you're coming south on Buford, you'll see the back part. You can see the back part. So the four corners are going to be visible from all the streets. The four sides. So that's why we worked on the whole side. And it's just one building, but it appears to be three buildings or four buildings. And that's what we were intending. We don't want to see the same structure in one building, the same identical, all the way it was, all the same now. We want to change it so they can look different, even though it's one building, but it looks like it's four buildings.
And I'm gonna ask, I know it doesn't have, we're not, that's not part of the discussion, but, and I think I read here and I'm confused, I'm a little confused, but are you intending to have separate air,
No, so-
like,
So he's intending to keep one structure
one,
and then segment different designs on the facade.
oh, but just a facade, but the inside isn't gonna be divided up for different shops
No, it's only two
on the inside?
locations.
Okay.
Two locations, but like the one on this side is one location, that's one location. And then if you see the one on Buford side, it's also one location. See, that's two locations. The tall building and the left is one, and then the other one is the other one going straight all the way back.
Okay.
So for example, we referenced Mesilla last time. Their design guidelines are very strict. So they wouldn't allow for difference in culture or difference in terms of design. Does that make sense?
But
And they're
you
also a national
referenced-
historic landmark.
What are you referencing there? Who did you say?
So for Mesilla, we reference the design guidelines, how they're a tourist attraction, and how they have design guidelines as well. Theirs are very strict. So they won't allow for the mixing of cultural aesthetics or cultural diversion from your design guidelines. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. The best example, I think, is those shops in that little area there in San Elizario. That
Yeah, like
every
they have the
building in
vigas,
there
the
has-
wood, the
everything's got
style.
different, unique little, making it a little bit different, but it's all within the same style.
Shopping
I think
center
that can
kind
be achieved here.
Mm-hmm.
Just a minor tweaking. But again, I think this is really good.
We can come back next meeting with an updated design for you guys to review, if you would like.
So you mean I'm gonna wait until next month?
So we would work with you to we would recommend tabling and then work with you on the design for them to review.
Why wait, for a whole month? I mean, it's done,
Oh.
it's
Well, we would
time
need,
of the essence.
the new design needs to come back through here, correct? And
Unless
so-
you're willing to approve it without looking at it.
With
If
the
you're
caveat
willing
with-
to approve it, he'll show you what we're doing, and we'll meet the guidelines, and there we go.
Historically, you do tend to table. I will say that that's the precedent you usually go with. But it would be the commission's decision.
So table, we come back in a month, or agree to submit the design to where you would give the approval.
Trust him.
Any comments, you all think?
I trust him.
That's a lot of trust in me.
I trust you too, but I kinda wanna see it.
And that's why,
But I don't wanna wait a month.
that's why we
I'm like,
typically recommend, we can try working on a special commission meeting, depending when the design's ready. We can do that too.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
yeah, the only thing is I probably wouldn't be able to make the special meetings because I'm involved with other boards.
We can choose a different day when it's a special meeting. It doesn't have to be on a Wednesday.
Okay.
I would like to do that. Yeah, this is a special meeting because this is a cool, just purchasing the property and having the guts to do it.
20 years, abandoned for 20
Yeah.
years, and I'm surprised nobody thought of, come on, get out and do
Well,
something with it.
people drive by and see what's actually there, and it takes that one special person to come by and see that. I mean, you're looking at that driving by, nobody else is gonna see, yeah.
And I've been driving almost a whole year trying to look for a property, in the Socorro Avenue. And finally I got into this one and I got to, the owner lives in Alaska.
Wow.
They moved 10 years ago.
Wow.
And nobody knows who they were and what they were. It took me some time to find the owners.
Wow.
Because nobody could find them. I mean, I hired people to finally we got together and found them.
Well, you need to do this on this property and all the other properties.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is a nice property, sir. I was inside and outside of it, all the way around. If you give me a tour, and it's very beautiful. It is. It has a lot of value.
It's gonna, we want it to be a talk of Socorro, for the next year or so. And then allow other people to do the same thing and copy, and say, if you can do it, I can do it.
It'll bring more pride
And
out.
help them out, and come into the community and say, can you help us fix somebody's house? At least the facade, not the property, but just at the outside. Removing the shading fences, because there's money available to the county if you wanna remove your fence, your shading fence, and build an adobe or a masonry fence, there's funding available.
I like it.
They need to know, but they don't know, and how do they get to that point? We can help them, getting with the mayor and getting with this commission, and allowing all this property that is being blighted and they're being just neglected, help them out.
Could you put that on Facebook, Victor? Something like that?
So we can share, it's a county program, so we can share what the county advertises.
Uh-huh.
It's based on their funding, so when their money runs out, it runs out. It's first come, first serve every fiscal year.
But people don't know, see, that's the problem. How can you apply? If I have a shading fence, how do you apply?
Well, that's what I was asking Victor, because usually you do all the,
Correct, so I would communicate with the county to see what they're doing to advertise it, and then I would follow theirs, because it is their program.
I trust him. He's the man.
But I hope that one day, in the near future, we'll see every single property in Socorro Road in a beautiful
Yeah,
spot.
that'd be great. It really would. Okay, so motion to
I was about to say, we don't
table-
have a motion.
I make a motion to table this item.
I second it.
For how long?
We're open for
So
the
the
special
table would
meeting.
wait until the design is complete for us to present to them.
Okay, but I can have it this weekend.
So we would review it and then let you know once it meets the design guidelines, then we would set up a meeting for the commission.
So we're open to be available as soon as next week. Yeah, as soon as next week,
I'll be
yeah.
here. I'll be here.
It just depends on scheduling and trying to get everybody together on the same time.
Thank you. Thank you guys very much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir, and
Thank you
thank you
for
for that
sharing.
beautiful tour that I got.
Oh, thank you.
It was a treat.
I'm tourist inclined. And I would like to see Socorro and San Eli being the tourist mecca of the Paso County. And we can do it. We have the history. We just need the people to get involved
Yes, sir. I agree.
and allowing the properties to flourish.
Socorro's a lot bigger, and we have a lot of money. Horizon's small, but they're doing a lot with a little bit of money,
Yeah.
supposedly. I don't know what they have, but.
Oh, they have
but I
more
know
money
we
than
can
us.
We can do better than them.
But let me tell you, I'm 80 years old, okay? And I'm physically doing this project.
No, I saw you, copper fit everywhere.
It's not like, it's not about money, it's about, the attitude is about wanting. Anybody can do it.
Yes,
A
sir.
little bit of money, a lot of effort, and good ideas.
Yes, sir.
I think we have a motion and a second, but we haven't taken the vote, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Val.
We had a motion made to table, made by Mr. David Estrada, seconded by Jesse Montelongo, Mr. Rafael Padilla,
Aye.
Dr. Elizabeth Ponce Lugo,
Aye.
Mr. David Estrada,
Aye.
and Mr. Jesse Montelongo.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much, and have a.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, I'll stop by this weekend,
All right,
just to say hi. I'll be out there cleaning up a little bit.
all right, thank you. So,
We will contact you tomorrow.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Okay, line item number 8, discussion and action on the certificate of appropriateness for the alteration of an existing fence on the property located at 10383 Socorro Road.
Good evening, Commissioners. Before you is an application for a COA for 10383 Socorro Road. The applicant, Rene Garcia, is present to do an alteration of an existing fence. We do not have any concerns regarding this because they are removing chain link. Staff does recommend conditional approval in that they do not change the material or the design that was submitted. These are the photographs that are attached of the site. So on the left-hand side, you can see them going from rebar and chain link in the back to wrought iron on the right. This property is located right along Socorro Road by Nichols, and it's very small. It's not a huge lot. Sorry, I went too far. And I'm happy to answer any questions, and the applicant can answer any questions.
That's the whole fence right there?
Just the front facing
just,
and the side. Do
Decorative?
you want to come up to the front?
Can you go back to the slide previous to this one? After that one? Or go back the other way? There was something there that caught my eye. Something about a historical bid?
No, that's the next item.
Oh, that's it. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was like, okay, what are we doing? Okay.
So what is the fence constructed of, sir? It's the fence, is that like paneling and then, wagon wheels or like a Southwest?
They're pretty much wheels they use for carry all the optic fiber, the big wheels, so I just cut them in half.
Oh, okay.
And I'm planning just to have a post every like 8 feet,
You can talk.
like every 8 feet, and just weld them and have like a little wire welded mesh on the back, cause I have some animals, small animals like goats, chickens, and I've been having issues with dogs or other animals going into.
Like pig wire? Because usually they put pig wire inside of the corrales or the.
Yeah, kinda.
Like, you know, empty those foxes or.
Yeah, the small one, it's like
Possums and all that.
like 2x4 squares.
Oh.
Just to have everything,
So it won't go
keep
in.
it inside, yeah. And I'm planning to do it out in the front, and of course, if you can see the one on the right side, just having a little driveway, because it doesn't have any driveway. So I'm trying to make a little driveway. I don't know if we have a standard detail for how wide it should be.
That'll go through planning.
Okay. And starting the same, but going all the way to the back. So removing the one on the side with my neighbor and going all the way to the back.
Okay.
So also avoid having animals going into his property, because I've been having that issue right now. I don't know about colors, because right now they're just pretty much oxidized color. I don't mind having the like that, because it kind of look like
Rustic.
old style. And if I paint them like white or something, with time you can start seeing little drips of rust. And I keep the light up, because I don't need to worry. But if you want me to paint him, I can paint him.
And we
black.
can provide him with color choices.
Okay.
But if you guys are good with that color, rust color, I can leave them like that.
Since it's a natural oxidization, we don't have a concern with it. But if he wants to paint it, it would have to, sorry. Since it's a natural oxidization of metal, we don't really have a concern with it. But if he wants to paint it, it would have to be an approved color that's on the grid.
Okay.
No, one of the, okay.
That's right in front of the
Any comments?
I'm pretty good.
Okay. Well, I
Second.
think, I like this design as well. It's a cool
It's
design.
nice. Yes, I second.
Right, yeah, Did someone make a motion?
Yes.
We have a motion made by Dr. Elizabeth Ponce Lugo, seconded by Mr. Rafael Padilla. Mr. Rafael Padilla,
Aye.
Dr. Elizabeth Ponce Lugo,
Aye.
Mr. David Estrada,
Aye.
and Mr. Jesse Montelongo.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So tomorrow Bella will call you so you can get your permit. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Good night.
Line item number 9, discussion and possible action on HOC projects, updates, and commissioner request of the HOC.
Good evening, Commissioners. We have a brief update for you. We are going to go out for bid in the next few weeks, so you might see something in the El Paso Times. We are going out to bid for a total of 4 buildings that will go under construction. There will be 3 buildings at Rio Vista, which are the last remaining street-facing buildings, as well as the steel coin set hut. So all in all, you will have 4 buildings under construction within the next 2 years. The museum is completed in terms of construction, and the design team is now in there curating the exhibits. The museum is set to be done by 2028, Q1. As far as the Mission Trail District, we did host a small business mixer in order to comply with the Mission Trail Alliance objectives, as well as the Mission Trail Association, as well as El Paso County Tourism, as well as the City of Socorro's historic preservation projects. All in all, we were connecting not only business owners, but also preservationists, community leaders, businesses to go ahead and get connected with financing groups to go ahead and look at projects like the one before you in terms of updating their facade, updating their buildings. They also learned about marketing. They learned about joining the El Paso Hispanic Chamber, and they also had a talk on real estate. So we're hoping to have those annually because we saw a lot of attendance. So we're super excited about that, and that is something that Ms. Perez is in charge of. So if you have suggestions or questions, you can talk to her. The last thing is that we are going out to bid also for the historic survey update. So in order to change your guidelines, you need to first have your survey. So your survey is going to be covered by grant funding made possible by the Texas Historical Commission. So they'll update the survey of the homes on the district as well as the businesses on the district. And then City Council did approve for the entire city to also be surveyed separately. So it'll be a two-phased approach on that project. After we get the survey on the historic Mission Trail, we will go out to update the guidelines, and you'll have your input on things that you want to see or things that you want to add, and then the contractor will go ahead and let you know more about that when we get time for that part of the project. Those are all our updates.
Thank you very much for that update.
When's the next small business mixer? Because I enjoy it.
When we get funding for it. We're going to work to see if we can get some sponsorships from one of our attorneys and engineering firms to cover the cost.
They got money.
More
Out of
than likely, it'll
curiosity.
probably be at the latter of the year after 4th of July.
After 4th of July, okay. And so, okay, and just the historic survey, it goes out to existing business owners and property owners along the district first.
Yes.
Who did the last one? Was it Dr. Peterson?
I think it was Harvey Hinkle and something else.
I remember one that
It's
was.
from 1995.
Yeah, I think Dr. Peterson was involved in that one too.
Yeah, so we desperately need an update to the survey.
And I was around then when that was going on.
Yeah.
And then the second phase of the survey, you said needs to get approved by city council.
They've already approved
They've
it.
already
So
approved it.
after the contractor does the mission trail, because I was a little greedy, I was like, this needs to get done first. So the mission trail will get done first because it's grant funded, so we have a time deadline for those funds. City council agreed to have the rest of the city surveyed as well.
The rest of the
And that'll
city
help
is-
planning and zoning, especially with your UDC development.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
A lot of
You know
things
what?
happening.
Question on the old Escontrillas building, is city council looking at that again?
There has been talks, but there has been no movement. But I know it's a trust building, so I'm very careful about what people want to do with that building, because I'm like, no, that's a trust building. We don't have a lot of those in Socorro.
Because it's starting to fall apart on the inside, so I'm trying to maintain it as much as I can.
We had a tour of that building, and that's all it really went to, was just a tour. Any other questions?
I don't have any questions.
No motion was made. Line item number 10, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to what?
Adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion made to adjourn by Mr. David Estrada, seconded by Mr. Jesse Montelongo, Mr. Rafael Padilla,
Aye.
Dr. Elizabeth Ponce Lugo,
Aye.
Mr. David Estrada,
Aye.
and Mr. Jesse Montelongo.
Aye.
The time is 6:39, and this meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.